The Bible is for
Me, hey, me. It's not all about me, is it?
Sounds pretty good. Oh, we got another name for your newsletter. It was the suggestion was It's About Tim. Mm-hmm. And it's like a pun on time, like it's about time. Right. But then it's also a very self-centered newsletter that you put out.
Who's we? Who's coming up with
a comment from a viewer?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, about a Tim pun.
Oh, it's good.
Newsletter title from the Jonathan episode when we asked that question of the viewers.
Oh, what about like Tim for a break?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like it's me.
Quality
for your
Tim.
Break. Oh,
Quality Tim.
Quality Tim with friends.
Quality Tim email. And maybe if you put it all together, it would kind of look like time.
Quality Tim email.
Were you looking for me earlier by any chance?
Nope.
Because you could find me in the club. Welcome to Christian Movie Club, everybody. My name's Anthony. That's Tim. I love reviewing Christian movies.
That's a working title, by the way. We're going to come up with a better one.
So does Tim. Tim loves reviewing Christian movies, and that's what we do here. That's what brings us all together here in the club.
Someday there's going to be a payoff. No, there are no treasures in heaven that are big enough to like fit on some sort of crown to line whatever walkway I have to my heavenly home.
How much would behavior increase if that Treasures in Heaven app we made up forever ago really worked? Like, you know, if it worked like my New York Times puzzle situation where they were like, good job, you did 100 Wordles right in a row.
Gamify being kind to people.
Gamified morality, I feel like
that is not a bad. It's not a bad idea right now.
They would be they would really be more inclined. And that's a sad state of humanity, but I think it's reality.
I think we can do it. Like, any app developers out there want to collaborate, we can work on this. We can call up Ben, see if he wants to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what he seems free. He seems available to me. Everything I know about his schedule.
For something like this is monumental and important. This would be on par with like the level of like warmth and goodness brought to the world by the Taylor Swift Eras tour.
Oh, okay.
I think it has potential. I'm just saying, not everybody could go to her shows, but everybody can download the app on their smartphone.
Until Taylor Swift sponsors this podcast, I can't co-sign that type of glowing endorsement.
I think I got a guy.
Find out what we can do.
If I can, I'll see what I can do. Taylor,
we'll start a Taylor Swift is funny
coming for you
segment.
Are you ready for it? She knows what that means.
I'm uncomfortable by that.
It's from her
Christian Movie Club is what brings us together today.
It's her song.
If you look around at the grocery store and whatnot, you'll probably see your community is a little football crazy.
Why?
Because boy, oh boy, that Super Bowl is right around the corner.
Say Super Bowl. You gotta say the big game.
I was like that bowl that I put the nachos in. It's a Super Bowl of nachos that I make. Mm-hmm. Duh.
7 layers.
And the big game is also, right around the corner. Bucks aren't in it, so I don't care too particularly much about how we got here or who wins. But I do hope both teams have fun. And I hope that it's fun to watch.
That's my Christmas wish, too.
Speaking of fun to watch, in my opinion, the most fun to watch Super Bowl I ever watched featured a character from today's movie.
How about that? Zachary Levi?
Zachary Levi himself. Very Bible name, by the way.
Oh.
Today we are reviewing the Christian film, and I was thinking about this. If a Christian movie only went to church on Christmas and Easter, it's this movie.
This is the one.
Technically, yeah, I go to Grace. Mm-hmm. Really? I go.
Mm-hmm. That is to say, I've been.
My kid, when I go to check my kids in, the info's already there.
Yeah.
Does it mean I'm there every week? No. Am I there like every month?
No.
Depends on the weather. If it's a good fishing day, then maybe not. That's the level of Christian that I would define this movie. It's very, very light. a little sprinkling.
Yeah, Christian light. It's still got like no sugary Christian added, but there's like a Christian sugar substitute.
Yeah, that's right. The movie is called American Underdog. It is the Kurt Warner story. And that's what we're gonna talk today. We have consumed it. We're here to discuss it. Tim, what do we need to know about this movie?
The Kurt Warner story. It's not the whole story. They skip the first like 20 something years, or like at least like 19
Fast
years.
Forward.
Yeah.
We see him as
they
a
don't
kid.
talk about his birth, really.
Which is like, how can you call it a biopic?
Jeez.
If we're not in the delivery room.
This movie was written in part by Kurt Warner himself. Okay. So we know there's some accuracies, probably, or exaggerations. Probably. That's what I would do if I wrote a movie about myself.
Yeah.
I would be very muscular.
Yeah.
Not now, but also written and directed by Michael Silver and John Irwin. Directed by Andrew Irwin and John Irwin. The Irwin E.R.
Yeah.
Irwin.
Not the Crocodile family.
No. The Irwin brothers have done a lot of music videos for artists like Switchfoot, Michael W. Smith, The Great, and Amy Grant.
Ooh.
But they also directed I Can Only Imagine and Mom's Night Out, among others. And they produced the movie Sketch as well, the recent movie. That was really good.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. With Tony Hill.
Is potentially, not to derail too quickly and give away too much, is music video directing the arena football of like directing?
Wow.
Where you're like,
it's more fun.
Sure, they can do more to life.
Yeah.
But can they do 90 minutes of heart-wrenching drama?
I think that's a good question.
I think we got parallel stories going on. That's what I'm suggesting.
This movie grossed $26.5 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And you know what 26? Double the number. 13. Kurt Warner. Taylor Swift. It's all
full circle, man. Numbers, man. This movie stars Zachary Levi as Kurt Warner. You may remember Zachary from Shazam and Chuck, and he's the voice of Flynn in Tangled. That's how my family mostly knows him.
Yeah, right.
He was in Thor. He was in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, etc. He's all over the place. Stars Anna Paquin as Brenda Meoni. She was in the X-Men, Squid and the Whale.
Yeah.
She had a part in Almost Famous, and I had to go back and like look. She was one of the little the Band-Aids or whatever. And she was in She's All That. Film stars Hayden Zaller as Zach. He was a little kid.
Okay.
And this is it for him. He really is like truly blind though.
Yeah.
And there's a very cool story about him being an actor and kind of getting hired for the part. It's very cute and nice and sweet and sentimental. Not for this podcast, but go look it up. It's very cool. Sir Darius Blaine as Mike Hudnut. He was in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Jumanji: The Next Level. Also, Chicago PD, NCIS, those guys.
Trying to get in on that Jumanji money, though.
Film stars Dennis Quaid as Dick Vermeil, a legendary coach. But Dennis Quaid himself is also a legend, obviously. If you don't know that name, he's been in a million things. Frequency, Day After Tomorrow, I Can Only Imagine, What to Expect When You're Expecting, The Parent Trap, Wyatt Earp, Inner Space. So much. Bruce McGill as Jim Foster. Okay, so Bruce McGill, you may not recognize that name. I do, and I recognize his face because, I'll get to that. He has like 169 acting credits so far and counting. He was in My Cousin Vinny, Family Guy, American Dad, Law and Order, Elizabethtown, Home Improvement, Walker, Texas Ranger, Quantum Leap.
There you go.
Most famously for me, he starred as Jack Dalton in the TV series MacGyver.
Who was he in this? Who's Jim Foster?
He is a
high school coach.
No, he's shoot. What? I'm trying to think of the role. You put me on the spot.
Well,
darn it.
I'm like legit. Like Jim Foster's not ringing any. Oh, he was the guy from the Rams. Right?
No, he's the coach of the I think he's the coach of the arena football.
The arena team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That just clicked all of those together. 100%. Yeah. Now I remember him.
Jeez. Also stars Adam Baldwin as Coach Allen. Which was anyway. He only put him in here because he kind of looks like Jason Sudeikis. He was in Independence Day and The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Baldwin?
No, I don't think he's one of those Baldwins.
Oh, okay.
He might be. I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more.
A lot of the Baldwins look a lot alike. Like, it's pretty...
Yeah. With a couple, like, one tweak here.
Right. Little adjustment. Sort of like the Emilio Estevez group, right? With they're all like...
Yeah, like if you're going to make a wee emoji character, like whatever, and then you're going to just copy it and then change one thing on it, that's the Baldwin brothers.
4 Baldwins, right.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So set the tone here early, like a very real movie, played in theaters and was real people, real accomplished actors were involved with it.
Yeah.
Produced by people that produce real stuff.
Yeah. These guys, the directors really like kind of started getting into the feature films later on. Like I said, they've done a lot of music videos, but now they start this trajectory. I want to say it's like it's like 2016, something like that, 2015.
Yeah.
And so this was made in 2021 or released in 2021. So like they had kind of started this journey, and then you get into again producing stuff like Sketch, and you're like, that's like a real good movie.
Yeah.
And this is like on their way there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It all feels exactly right. Again, I like to do this part before we get into kind of the meat of the film to just sort of set the table. Were there any reviews? So this would be from someone who watched the movie and kind of had an experience that you feel like for our audience who might not be familiar with the film, this would be helpful for what they could expect.
I pulled a couple of reviews, and I want to be all over the spectrum for this because the reviews are all over the spectrum. I want to hit all the sides. One honest review said, hard to dislike, but not particularly memorable either. Okay. One person said, best movie in a long time. This is the best movie we have seen in a long time. It's just proves you don't have to curse or show nudity to make a good movie. Don't give up on your dreams no matter what comes your way. Persevere. A couple spelling errors in this one. Just do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
How does this reviewer deal with a person whose dream is to make a movie full of cursing? Like how? If they're like, but that's my dream.
You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
That's my dream is to make a movie. You told me that you wanted me to do my dream, and my dream is a movie full of cursing.
They would say, do what you have to do, like do a podcast until you can do what you want to do, which is make that movie full of cursing. Next review says, nice movie, but not complete. And I thought that's what. Well, of course, like you can't introduce this guy's whole life. But he said, as a European, I can see this as a true American story. Just a shame that they left out the part where he played in NFL Europe with the Amsterdam Admirals.
Yeah, I actually did a little digging, and I also found that.
Such a shame. That would have been a really relevant part of the story that nobody would have cared about. So, believe it or not,
right. But cares. Now here's what I'll say. Oh, I don't want to get into that yet, but I do think there's some. That's an interesting angle.
Yeah, to be mad that they left out like. But he also visited Erie, Pennsylvania once. They didn't even mention that one time in this whole documentary, this true story.
Okay, like, but here's what I'll say. Nobody asked you to introduce the name American. You called it an American Underdog. Like, that's what you did. Mm-hmm. And then you conveniently skipped the part where...
He's still American.
No, he is. But for a year before, like, so in... Again, a little too in the way, but in the scene where they're reviewing film and they're watching arena football, probably they were watching him playing in NFL Europe on a real field with real size stuff. And that all happened in Europe.
You mean they weren't watching him bag groceries, like the security camera footage?
Well, I'm just saying, like, you seem to very conveniently do the Heartland of America, Iowa story, and no one... It was supposed to be a Kurt Warner story. It didn't have to be exclusively American. It's about Kurt Warner. But you said American Underdog.
He is an American.
And then skipped that.
I'm
just saying. I think that's I kind of like the reviewer's take of like, okay, well, you conveniently skipped the part where other people contributed to his coming up. But
he didn't include his. Whatever. Anyway, you can be hurt about that. And
what a diehard Amsterdam Admiral fans out there that had their jersey.
Very sensitive people. Even Karen above said it was a good movie because it didn't have cursing. And this guy's like, but they left out my team. Yeah.
He's a big Admirals guy.
Because nobody cares about the Admirals, man.
Yeah, nobody does.
Last review said, should have been a Lifetime movie, channel movie. Very hokey, over-the-top sentimental, cheesy, bland, and overall boring. I'm a huge football fan, but in-your-face emotion made me want to surf my phone while the movie was going on. Even the NFL's action scenes looked fake. Well, because they were. Yeah. I swear, every actor looked like an overage, out-of-shape pretender. Very predictable. Also predictable because you kind of know what the story is.
Right.
Maybe worth a rental if you're a big sports fan and like the Lifetime Movie Network. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You can like the Lifetime Movie Network.
Your expectations were, if you thought you were turning on,
if you thought you're getting Friday Night Lights out of this, you're getting somebody's head blown up. Like no,
what's what it was?
No, nobody's getting ankles broken and whatnot, except for the real footage. But
would have been funny if he went in on that. Like even the fake Kirk Herbstreit was not even believable at all. Oh no, that was actually just footage. It was real,
right? It's way younger than the real one.
Yeah. I've seen Kirk. And the frame was the wrong size. It was all narrow. 4 stars. Okay, well, that's it. A couple things. And again, this is tricky. If you've been with us for a while, we have now done a couple of these. So this is a life story. We're going to comment on the film. That's what we do here. We consume movies. We discuss them here in the club. And this is about the movie. Okay, we don't know Kurt. We don't know Brenda. We don't know these people. I don't know the Irwin brothers. I don't know anybody associated with this film, but they made a film and we watched it and we're going to come here together to discuss it today. So we don't want this, it's just very important when you're discussing and maybe picking at some things. This isn't about the people. This is about the finished product that was put out. So I like to say that first.
You do like to say that first.
I think that's everything.
And then you tell them that there's going to be some spoilers here coming up.
Thank you. Yes.
And then you do a synopsis of the film. Everybody laughs. We go about our day. And then we say, bye.
Really good podcast.
That's what we do.
We're going to follow that agenda that Tim just came up with off the top of his head. I am going to discuss now a more thorough synopsis if you are unfamiliar with the life of Kurt Warner or just haven't seen this film. You want to be surprised by it all. You can check out the film. It's available on Hulu. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can go check that out and then you can watch it and then discuss it with us. Or if you want, you can just hang around. We're going to talk about it together, catch you up to speed on all the kind of important points, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll give you a moment now to kind of reach out to some close family members and confidants and decide which of those paths would be best for you in this moment of your life. That's a good point.
Yeah. I think they're back.
Okay. So either you're back or you decided to stick around. And now I'm going to read a more thorough synopsis with spoilers.
Well, do you want me to give my synopsis? Well, it's not mine. It's from IMDb.
Sure.
Their initial breakdown says, the story of NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, who went from stocking shelves at a supermarket to becoming an American football star.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go. This is a little bit more deep, a little bit more all of the movie.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to go kind of start to finish and catch you up. And here we go. Kurt and Brenda are the two people in your church who lodge the most formal complaints. Unrelated, these are also the names of the Warners. Kurt, a determined football player with a heart as big as his right arm. Brenda, a retired Marine who moves as smoothly on the line dance floor as she does between bold hairstyle choices. American Underdog documents the Warners' love story as the two have to overcome seemingly insurmountable odds to stay together. Brenda has to overcome the deep wounds of betrayal and her protective instincts over her kids. Kurt has to remember to keep gas in the car. It's tough. But despite these obstacles, these two prove they can defy all odds as Brenda completes nursing school and Kurt's football career goes from undrafted QB to arena football star to Super Bowl champion and MVP. Mm-hmm. And while life for the Warners really works out in the end, a pressing question still remains. Who is wearing that Marshall Faulk jersey? And did they eat Marshall Faulk? I think that is a collective viewer experience. If you watched this film, you were left with exactly those notes.
Must have eaten Marshall Faulk.
Now you're kind of caught up on American Underdog.
That's good. That's good.
Tim, give me something that was shocking to you.
It was shocking at first, and then I just kept writing it down. It almost was so shocking that it became a low point. I just wrote everyone's hair. Everyone's hair, just so bad all around. Yeah. Like whoever was in charge of the hair department for, I don't know, the top 2 people in the film.
Yeah,
like the dye job for Kurt's hair, like it was so intense and so pitch black.
Yeah,
that it was like it looks like it's always the day that they dyed it. Like if you've ever seen somebody where like their scalp is black because they've dyed their hair, that's what this looked like every day of shooting. And also they like forgot to do his eyebrows because Kurt Warner at that time had pretty dark hair. I don't know that it was that jet black, but he had dark hair. But he also has like kind of like big, thick, bushy, dark eyebrows.
Yeah,
he's a handsome fella.
Yeah.
And then here he just has the dyed jet black hair that doesn't look real at all, and no eyebrows. And then Brenda, the short hair that she had, that wig that was put on, it looked like an SNL caricature, like Kate McKinnon doing Justin Bieber or something.
The short curly one?
No, the shortest one at first. Okay. Like her forehead is like way back, and it's super spiky, and it looks like her eyebrows are always up, like it's always super tight. It looks so it looked like a mix of Kate McKinnon doing Bieber and then like Jimmy Fallon doing the Sarah character. Like it was just this weird blend of like absolutely hideous, which is also funny because they're trying to make her look like the real Brenda Warner, but she's actually like chic and stunning, like silver foxes, vixen or whatever you want to call it.
Couldn't agree more.
But like she's like a very good looking woman, like very well put together, and then like what did they do? Why did they make her look right? You took like a real Hollywood actress those are generally pretty good looking people.
Yeah.
And then said, I'm gonna try to make her look like somebody who is also pretty good looking. And then they ended up looking like Kate McKinnon doing Justin Bieber. Like, just like what on earth? It was very, very shocking to my system.
I understand that to a degree you're trying to represent the character because the other thing you had to look it up. I completely agree with you how you were just like the hair choices.
Yeah, like, I mean, is that really her?
Is that? And so you look up and you're like, oh yeah, she definitely like had eras that you can see from a quick Google image search. Of like, oh yeah, her hair changed. So maybe that's what you're trying to do is like you tell the story, but like, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have preferred you maybe just like not change the hair as much and then been like, oh, the real person actually changed her hair a couple times.
Right.
Then try to be like, it's really important that your hair changes.
Well, they caught all of her hairas.
Ooh.
She's on the hairas.
You are really in the pocket of Taylor. Today.
She's gonna produce our app. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yes. The hair. It was tough.
It would also be. I would not be surprised. So if there was another movie out there that had that same like wardrobe costume designer that did the hair, I would be shocked that they had another job.
Would you put Dennis Quaid's situation into this?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the main dude. Like, you're trying to make him look like an old coach. He did fine. Like, yes, but those two were the most shocking. Just straight up shocking.
And I mean, I see what you're saying with Kurt's like choice, but I really thought the choices made for Brenda were...
Oh, yeah, far worse. But literally that shock of like, whoa, his hair.
Yeah.
Like, what did they do? Why did they make his hair so black? So why did they go that far?
And it's an easy... So what you're trying to do in stuff like this, it's hard. You're trying to get continuity over multiple shooting days, and then you're doing a character that starts as a college kid.
Right.
And gets to... You know, you're documenting like a season of life. And so you might be trying to age them a little bit. So there is a new... I want to just shout out people that do hair. It's not until you see something like this where you're like, oh, it's actually a tough job. It's not just like, oh, I throw on my silly wig and I go out there and do my thing. Like, no, there actually is like a real skill to this.
But they made Brad Pitt look like a baby, like a little kid, and then a baby in Benjamin Button, and that was like
Yeah, I mean,
15 years ago.
It's doable.
You can do it.
I'm not saying it's not doable, but I just thing you can do in a moment like this is shout out the people that do it right and well.
I just think they like you said, they went after this thing as sort of accuracy with the original character and just missed it. And you're like, what did you lose from that? Like from trying to do that? Like, just, it's okay. Most people, I wouldn't have gone back to look and see what Brenda looked like.
Right.
If the character didn't look so bad. Yeah. And so then that continuity, I wouldn't even care about that. Like, who cares what she looks like? You tried to do something. You look freakish. Right.
Did I have a soul patch at one point? I did. That's accurate. But we could also just skip that. That's fine. Yeah. And just do something that looks more normal. That could be cool on my end. It's a great opening. Something that was shocking to me is a super bit point, but it was jarring. Kurt Warner is out to lunch with Brenda when he's first approached by the Arena Football League to join their league. And he, I think probably, like most players, is kind of like, I don't know. I still have hopes of making it to the big show. I don't know that I want to do that. But he's sitting there and watching the scene and looking at his plate. I'm like, what's going on that plate? So I had to pause it. He had 4 hamburgers. 4 full-size hamburgers.
Bulk up
on his plate at lunchtime. I was like, good golly, Kurt. That's a hefty lunch.
Maybe he was doing intermittent fasting before any of us were. And I don't.
And very little sides. Like, it was no fries.
Yeah, protein, man.
All burgers.
Protein.
4 full burgers really jarred me. And then we talked about it a little. I'm going to say this is shocking just from a narrative level. One of them I get, one of them my reviewer guy beat me to it. But so he was actually on the Rams a whole year before this story takes place, which is like it's a better story if he washes up on the shore. And,
right.
It's a movie, guys. I get it. But I was kind of like, oh, I see. And then the NFL Europe one I thought was like, that is kind of interesting to me because I just feel like very genuinely, I understand you keep it in America's heartland and you're playing in the rodeo arena. That was all very fun. Also, arena football. If you don't remember this moment, was pretty fun.
I know. I'm going to get to that later.
Okay. But then, you have like, it was after that he goes and plays in Europe, which is a full-size field and is an NFL affiliate. And then you're like, oh, okay. Like that, there was a step ladder. But I mean, I put that as the most shocking. It's really not that shocking that people adapt for film. A character you wanted to see less of?
This won't be a common one that's shared, but there's a little girl at the very end when they were getting married, and she goes, "Will you dance with me, Daddy?" If you're a dad of little girls and you dread any of that at any wedding, you would be as let's say mad about seeing that scene. Seeing that scene was about 15 years probably premature for me having to do that in real life, and so I don't need any of that. So she can go, get out of here, little girl.
Would you say that reason that scene was the reason for the teardrops on your guitar?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you'd say?
You forced it.
Did it get you though? A little bit?
Oh yeah. That's all it takes.
I know.
I'm laughing at this stuff. I'm making notes on this stupid movie and whatever this whole time, and then that line comes up, and I'm like, fast forward, get out of here,
dude. When the little kid Zach grabbed his hand at the door, I was like, this movie's so stupid. This movie's dumb. Don't do a funny podcast about it.
Yeah, so obviously I didn't want to see less of her, but man, I did not need to see her at that moment.
It gets you.
Yeah, like I got like 2 little girls sleeping in their room, sound asleep at whatever time of night it was.
Gets you.
Just want to go check on them. Make sure they're okay.
Character I want to see less of was, and I actually also think this is personally influenced, but it was Dennis Quaid as Dick Vermeil. And I did I think the performance was like gonna get him an Oscar? No.
It was the hair.
The hair it just felt a little bit like I remember Dick Vermeil. He wasn't like this much of a walking cartoon character. Like, you made him seem like a mix between like the Monopoly Man and I don't know. It was odd. Yeah. It all felt a little odd. But true, if I'm being most honest, upon further reflection, we had just watched The Parent Trap with our boys, and I was like, I think that was what was jarring to me. Was I was watching The Parent Trap, going like, Dennis Quaid is such a stud. Like, he's just handsome guy, super likable, whatever. And then it was this like troll version of him that I didn't want it. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. That was my.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. No, I get it.
Maybe coming from here. Character you want to see more of?
I put down Mike Martz, the guy who played Mike Martz, but that character, the offensive coordinator. He ended up being the Rams head coach. I think the next season, after the story that we're talking about. But the dude playing him just crushed it. Yep. Like, I don't know if that's really what Mike Martz is like, but the character, I thought he did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Could have seen more. He's like hard on Kurt, and but sort of like an Oracle kind of character. Like, I got you.
Yeah. Character I wanted to see more of was just late 90s football stars being represented in this film, with varying degrees of accuracy, I would say, as I maybe alluded to earlier. But we had a Brett Favre appearance. Pretty quick at Packers camp, but it was a prominent number 4. And I was like, that does not look particularly like Brett Favre at all. You got a quick look at his face, but that was kind of in and out, so it was like not going to like really dwell on it. You get a much more thorough look at Ray Lewis,
and I'll just go ahead and skip to it and say that was my low point, was seeing the Ray Lewis on the field. That kind of sounded like him. It kind of looked like him a little bit, but also not nearly as intense as he should have been. Like, if you're going to be a Ray Lewis on like a Hollywood version of Ray Lewis, you better step it up, man. Like, that dude is intense and awesome.
Yes.
And you were not that.
You underdid Ray Lewis. And it's like, oh, bro, shoot for overdoing.
Just watch Ray Lewis clips, even now as an old man. Like, watch him now. You'll get the intensity level you need. Like, draw from that, Mr. Actor.
Speaking of overdoing, what did Marshall Faulk do to the... let me give you a little backstory. Marshall, if you missed the Marshall Faulk moment, I mean, he was like every current NFL player. Sorry to get a little in the sports weeds, maybe. But all these running backs today are... Like, Marshall Faulk was the first one. He could catch passes. He was sneaky. He was like... He made running back like the most explosive position on the field. Before him, it was always like, well, we hand it to this guy and we hope good things happen. And Marshall Faulk was this like revelation of like, it's why they were the greatest show on turf, in my opinion, was like, that dude, you line him up anywhere, he could do everything. He was like, he's like a top guy for me in my sports watching history. And then I watch this very large version of him, and I'm just like, bro, y'all did Marshall Faulk dirty in this thing. Like, who did he upset? I think is just my question. Like, there was an Irwin brother who didn't get an autograph or something, because I feel like Marshall was was not represented the best. But then you had Isaac Bruce. He had a quick Isaac Bruce appearance. Great receiver. Torrey Holt was mentioned. I don't think we saw him. Trent Green, which wasn't a big deal. Anyway, I just like this shtick. I like the idea of somebody pretending to be like a sports player that I am familiar with, and like, it was fun to me. And the Ray Lewis guy, here's what I wanted to tag one other thing. He did have the dance. He had the celebration down pretty good. He did that pretty good, but the rest of the performance and just the overall sort of lunacy that was Ray Lewis.
Needed more of it.
I needed more. I want more. Just late 90s NFL nonsense. Give me a character that reminded you of me.
It wasn't necessarily the whole character, but it was that moment where it was Kurt Warner, but that moment when he ran out of gas. It was just very reminiscent of maybe stuff that you have done or could do, and hear me out, where it redeems itself. Like, but in the moment, he runs out of gas. It's in the snow, freezing temperatures, and then like the car putters like they're in the middle of like the country road, and he could have known that the car was running out of gas.
Right.
that's a thing. And so they, in that moment, they're scraping together all the change and all the pennies. They're trying to show just how poor they are. But they're like all like quarters and nickels from the glove compartment. And what do you have in your pocket? How much money do you have? And like, hey kids, give me your allowance, like whatever they can do. And then he's like, oh, it's all my fault. And you're like, oh yeah, it is. Because he knew that there was a gas station a couple miles back.
Right.
And he went back there. We'll get to that. But like he knew that it was there. He just made there was something in his brain that said, I should do something other than the responsible thing. And that's so much like you sometimes.
I have done that.
No, I think you would do that for like if Rach was like, hey, we have to get somewhere now. And you're like, okay, what do I balance? The right thing to do, because I got to stop and get gas, but we're already running late and she's going to be mad. So yeah, okay, we'll just get there. And then, crap. I guess. But then the other part, the redeeming part, is that you would also do exactly what he did and go, okay, give me all this stuff. I'm going to run down the mountain and then grab some gas and like put it in my hands and then run back and then dump it. Like whatever you got to do to get the job done, you're going to do it. And that moment reminded me of you.
I will say, and definitely his decision making in the moment did feel like me in that like, I'll do a physical thing. Like I will run all the way back there. And even like, I'm going to say like a not as developed version of me as I like to think I am now. But like, even in that, like, okay, so they're going to be just sitting here in a car. And like, it's just not a great plan, Kurt. Like I would have taken a minute to try to think of a better plan. And even so, probably would have like, Try to flag a car down a nearby house. Like there's other options here than like you saying like I could run 3 miles. That's a choice. And that usually is an option that fires for me. What's interesting, and I don't know that you would ever know this, but I actually have kind of a thing about running out of gas though.
You've done it?
No, like I'm really like I don't like being close. So I will make reverse gas decisions.
You're
I'll be like
topping it off at 3/4
I'm
of the
like,
tank.
yeah, like I have a half tank, but I gotta go to St. Pete. I don't know. I'm just gonna fill up because I don't want to like. I don't like being in a position where I have to get gas in a tight spot. Yeah, I have like that's actually one of my like
anxiety.
Yeah, like I just don't like being, especially if I'm heading anywhere in a downtown area. This is just fun facts about Anthony. I want a full tank of gas because I don't want to have to deal with.
Even though everything downtown is less than like a quarter of a mile away.
Everything's right there, but I don't want to have to navigate through all of it. So I'm always like, Philip, just get gas. Every time I go by a gas station, I'm like,
didn't know that about you.
Right no, you wouldn't
That's
know
something
that.
I learned today.
You wouldn't know that, but that's a real thing. Every time I go by a gas station, I'm like, I should probably get gas right now. You're like, you have 7/8 of a tank. I don't know why that thought would cross your mind. And then I think you're gonna be happy with this. The character that reminded me of you was Mike Martz.
Yes.
I just loved the like.
I thought you might say that.
Being hard on him because you see the potential in that great reveal of like Kurt makes a big bad play in the red zone and he gets a call from Mike Martz and he's like, oh boy, here we go. And Mike's like, you're the chosen one, Kurt. Lead us to the promised land. And then he does.
Well, thanks.
He does.
I'll take that.
I felt like you. Give me a low. Oh, you said
I said my
point.
low. The Ray Lewis not being Ray Lewis enough.
My low was Kurt proposes to Brenda. Again, we told you we were doing spoilers. Proposes to Brenda with this.
More like Blanda. Am I right? Got him.
Whoa. Not with that hairstyle. He sets up a really nice thing, and I thought, classic Hallmark movie. Like, and I had no issues with it. Like, throw the switch, and they plug the thing in, and it says, "Will you marry me?" And then she's like, kind of emotional. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's all so beautiful." Yes. And he goes, "Well, I haven't asked the question yet." This is the dialogue. I'm giving you the dialogue, and I just was like, "But you did.
You did.
You absolutely did." It's. Like, what a weird way to present all this. Like, behind you.
And then they double down on it a couple times. Yeah.
The question that's the thing. If you go to like a game and someone's like at a football game or something, and on the big screen it says like, Rachel, will you marry me? You don't then go like, okay, cut to me and give me a mic so that I can re-say what the reveal's already done.
And I think you do though.
I'm okay with
just in case she thinks like, is that for me?
Yeah.
Was that for somebody else? Is there another Rachel? Will you marry me? Is that a metaphor? You need to actually say it.
And I think you probably should. And I think you probably need to, like, you know, if things go the way you plan, probably only doing that once. So you want to say it. I get it. But also, she's probably going to respond because you asked. There was a reveal. Yeah. And then you can share from your heart. You should. But that was a low point for me. My low point was a bit of a personal one. And I don't know. I hope this was made up. But Kurt is on the phone with his agent when he gets like it doesn't work out with the Packers. That's the one team right out of college that allows him to come on. And he's trying to get somewhere else. And he says, wasn't Tampa Bay interested? And he names like another team. And he's like, Tampa Bay? And I was like, tell me the Bucks didn't really express interest and then back off. I hope that's not real.
We have a history of that.
That's what I'm saying. It felt very real as a Bucks fan. I was like, that probably happened. We probably were that close to having this diamond that was sitting in a garbage dump. And then we didn't take him. Yeah. Give me a high point.
You kind of touched on it, but like the nostalgia from the 90s and the music at the bar, like the country music when they're out there line dancing and stuff. That was really like Tim McGraw and stuff like that. And then just like you said, your characters to see more of the recounting these NFL players that like this was like peak football for me because I was like learning the game. Like I'm in high school at that point. Like this was all new. This I'm learning the sport and like kind of growing this passion for it, this excitement for it. Yeah. And so like, the Isaac Bruce and Marshall Faulk, like this was the greatest show on turf. Like they are showing all this whole collection of characters. And then I'm a sucker for this, but anytime in like the true story movies, they show legitimate footage, like real footage of the thing that happened, and then pulling footage from Kirk Herbstreit and Mike Golick, like from that game, showing footage from all that. It was just really fun, like intertwining it, like splicing it within the story of the movie. I'm a sucker for that. Validates a lot of what they're doing and what they're saying. Yes, I love that stuff.
Yeah, super
easy
good.
High point.
I touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. If you are unfamiliar with the 1999 Super Bowl, it's forever burned in my brain. It's Kurt Warner and the Rams, Steve McNair, the Titans, R.I.P. And it's this fantastic game. I feel like I can spoil it because it's this long, but you should still watch like a highlight reel of it. It's this fantastic back and forth game, and I think they do show the clip, don't they?
The very end. No. What's funny that you mentioned that
they show the arena.
They show the arena end.
Yeah, that was such a bookend.
Right. So the story is in the Super Bowl that the Titans team came back and almost won this game, but like by a yard. It was like
less than a yard.
He's like diving for the end zone. Ball hits the ground just short of the goal line, and of this amazing thriller game.
Incredible.
And you're like, what? Oh my gosh. You guys didn't win. You could have won. You were inches away from winning. Such a cool ending.
I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
And that the same thing. I didn't see the arena football game, but like that literally happens.
Yeah, they showed it
to them in the arena football in the Arena Bowl against the Tampa Bay Storm. I thought for sure they were going to show that and like show that bookend and like, but see, it turned out positive for you here, but they didn't do it. Or maybe they shot it and cut it, but
they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Man. And this tackle that happened. So the Rams score, the Titans are marching, and this guy has the ball, and it's just so cinematic because it's the open field. Like if you've seen any NFL now, you're like, when the touchdowns are close, it's like a bunch of bodies just like on top of each other. You're just like, is that the ball or is that his leg? I don't know. And this was like a guy being tackled, reaching out, clear as day. This was like before replay was like really a thing, but clear as day. You can see the tip of that ball gets like right here and the end zone is right. It was just the best Super Bowl. Like you were just like, how is this real? How is this real? And actually, Kurt was involved in they touch on it later. The Cardinals play the Steelers, another great Super Bowl with that back of the end zone catch by the Steelers. But man, that was great. That was a great era for football.
Mm-hmm.
Great to remember. Along the same lines, for my high point, was just briefly remembering the absolute juggernaut that was the Tampa Bay Storm.
Mm-hmm.
People will forget arena football was just a fun moment in time. And to me, it's just without question, the greatest team in arena football history was the Tampa Bay
obviously.
Storm. Perennial powerhouse. It was
like
our Tampa
the Harlem
Bay.
Globetrotters of exhibition basketball.
We were not, this area was not good at sports at that time.
Mm-mm.
Like mid 90s, we were not. The Bucks were coming up, but we had to that time been like the most losing franchise in all history. And then you had this dumb arena football league sport, which you're like, it's not really football. Wait, my team's good at it?
We love this game.
We love this sport. They used to play in like a hockey rink, and you'd go, and the Tampa Bay Storm were great. And then the Storm played the Barnstormers, which I also thought was interesting. Clearly, if your Storm's in your name, you're at a better chance of winning at arena football. All right, Tim, big end here. What do you give this?
Yeah, I okay. This is going to be maybe a little shocking. I gave it like a 3.5.
Yeah.
Everything we've talked about, not to be too sportsy, but it really did make me miss arena football. There's that super nostalgia for me. Arena football, I had no problem with that sport. It was fun. It was really accessible. It's right here in your face. I saw several games.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It's like a touchdown every 2 plays.
Right. Right. Like it was all about stops. Can your defense make one stop? Anybody. Well, then you're probably going to win the game. And what's funny, so like I was sort of being in my head, I was being critical. I even started to write it down that they were like highlighting this first game of that season with Kurt Warner coming in. They were highlighting that as Rams, Ravens. It looked like a Super Bowl. It was like the importance of a Super Bowl game. And I was like, what did he do? Like, why are you highlighting this one game? Like, they did win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Why don't you talk about that? And I was upset at first. But then the way they talked about it, and the way they like the story kind of developed and what they highlighted and talked about later, I was like, yeah, you know what? Everybody does the Super Bowl. Everybody does the story of the Super Bowl and would tell the story from that perspective, from like this victorious final battle or whatever. But yeah, it has the same sentiment to it. Like it is still a battle. It's still tough. It's a good game. You show character in like who the characters are, but the character of them. And I was like, wait a minute. No, the way they kind of wrapped up that whole story was pretty good. Now, the hair was awful. Yes. Jarringly, horribly terrible. Right. But overall, film's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good story.
I was squarely on 3 as well. This is not, we love this segment. I do anyway. There's nothing really like super cringe about this movie. It's like a well-made, feel-good story. I'll start with like, if I was to say something negative, it did feel, I'm trying to say this a little bit. It felt like Kurt Warner had a hand in it.
And he did.
It felt like it was like,
right.
They're never really down. Like they're down, like, but they're never really like down. He looks good the whole time. The stakes never make you feel, it just that if I was to throw a critical line, that's the way it kind of felt. It never really, even they break up for a second, but you're like, this isn't real. And then,
right. I mean, you're trying to pack, I don't encourage these kind of movies anyway, but like you're trying to pack like a whole life story and capture all of the essences of childhood and difficulty growing up and adverse situations in your 20s and then wrap it up with life in your 30s or something. Like it's just too much.
It's a lot. And like I said, when you're presenting your story, you're going to kind of have a little bit of a, my hair always looked great in every scene.
It's really blue.
I was really charming and constantly kind of knew what to say. But yeah, so it's like there was a little bit of that, and that's where I'll end because I think that's where it's fair to end. Is Kurt Warner's story an interesting? 100%. The dude was undrafted. He played in a bunch of what was considered reject football leagues. Like you're playing in the Arena Football League. You name me 2 players that made it from the Arena Football League to the pros. You can't. There's one you remember. NFL Europe included. It's just like these were all players that's like you should quit. You should quit. You should get that job. And here's a guy who never quit, kept doing it, Seemed like a solid dude. I got no reason. There's not been the big scandals not dropped on Kurt Warner. Like, he seems like he's like a pretty good dude.
Yeah.
And he legit led one of the greatest offenses in NFL history. Super Bowl winner, MVP. It's just like, yeah. Is this a story we should be telling? Yes. I want my sports obsessed kid to know the story of like, hey, sometimes you end up on a team you didn't think you should have been on. You thought you deserved different, but you never gave up and you got to the top. This has got all that. If at the end of that you're like, it was cheesy. Well, yeah. Yeah. Sports are cheesy. Get over it.
But,
like,
but then it's like a real... It really happened. Real. Most of it really happened.
That's what I mean.
And that's why I love sports.
It is what it is.
Also, just FYI, Jay Feely and Matt Bryant, kickers in the Arena Football League, were NFL players. It does make sense when you have to be like a sharpshooter to hit this target. You can make it in the NFL.
It was almost like the better kickers were going to Arena.
Yeah, I mean they didn't have to ever kick the ball, but
it's true.
Scoring touchdowns.
And I think if it bounced off of that net and you kicked it again, you could make it. Like there was a bounce.
that was a super touchdown.
Shouts out Matt Bryant, former Bucks kicker, one of my favorites. Yeah, so I'm with you. 3 stars. If you're into, I honestly did think, and this maybe is helpful. My 10-year-old just is a sucker for sports movies right now because he loves sports. I would have watched this with him. Yeah. I think he would have dug it.
Oh yeah,
I think he would have thought it was cool.
Yeah, not cringy. Again, legit story, decent human beings, not treating other people like they're beneath them or like giving them some sort of pious advice about stuff. Like, yeah, it's very watchable.
Pretty real. I want to say this too. I don't want to heap praise. I don't want to get bad reputation for that. But
reputation. That wasn't a stretch. I caught you there.
I am a bit of a tortured poet. Kurt's not for nothing. Kurt's drinking beer the whole time, and it's never like it's pretty normalized. I want to say sometimes another thing when we do Christian movies, they make Christians not seem like real people. And he does. They seem like they're just normal things. There's things that are just happening that are sort of normalized, and they're not like made to be the worst thing that ever happened. They're not told that, he's not telling your kid that you should do this, but it's also like, they're just like, okay, cool.
It's fine.
They have a faith thing going on. He's not like, I just want to pursue my dreams. God, give me a chance. And then the Rams call right after. Like, that's the kind of stuff you're like, okay, but now I got to tell my kid, like, okay, just because you prayed 5 seconds ago doesn't mean that God does something. It doesn't mean God hates you. If you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Parents, if you hear my heart on that, they do a nice job of like, there's faith here. It's real to them. It's also not some sort of vending machine that's spit out. Oh, my kid's not blind anymore because I prayed about it. Like, there's stuff like that you just end up having to undo a little bit. So yeah, solid 3 stars on this one. I couldn't go as high as 4 as far as like real movie, but 3.
I've given some bad movies 3s.
Well, I always try to articulate is like, this is a 3 on the right side. Like there's a 3, 4 over here that's like, gosh, this was bad, but everybody was committed to it and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to start doing. I think that's the horseshoe I'm going to start using. This is a 3 over here. Like this is like, I don't know.
Oh, right. 3 of like quality put together film story, and then 3 of like, this is bizarre, circus show. You have to go see it.
Where you should see 3, 4 over here. There's a 3 here. Not the best movie I ever saw, but it's that one review kind of nailed it. To be honest with you, it's like if you like Hallmark, it's all gonna end good in the end. Everybody's gonna, except for the in-laws. Shouts out. That was a bleak turn.
They did die
briefly. Didn't know they died for a while. I was a little bit like, I see a home that's destroyed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you had that experience. It up, But there was like a 45-second gap where I was like,
are they okay? They're going to make it?
No, they don't. And then there's a campfire and they're not at the campfire. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. They didn't make it. There you go. American Underdog. If you're wanting to get in the football spirit.
If you're not already.
This is also be a good movie if a couple is paying attention to the pod and like she likes cheesy romance movies. You're interested enough in football to have a little nostalgia.
Honestly, she's not gonna like the hair.
She's gonna have a hard time.
She's gonna get real hung up on the hair. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Kurt and Brenda went on to have 7 kids. I don't know if you found that in your records.
Well, I saw that at the end. Yeah.
That's right. That's where it was. It was in the end. Touchdown for Kurt. He just can't stop. How do you like getting a cash bonus for touchdowns on the sideline?
Dude, absolutely. I would be all about that. That's real incentive.
That felt like real arena football stuff too. Like you're like, that's not, I don't know about that. And then I was like, no, that might have been what happened at the arenas. They were just had a wad and they were like, there's your tenner. That's your bonus. Scoring touchdowns. Okay, American Underdog. I think I covered everything that needed to be discussed now. You have participated in another Christian movie club gathering. If you have a movie we need to discuss, please send it at The Bible is Funny. Love to hear from you. I hope you enjoy your Super Bowl season. I said it again. Your Super Bowl nachos season, but seasoned for the big game.
Nachos.
I hope the team that you want to win wins. As of this recording, I know who wins, but I'm not saying.
What?
Who do you think's gonna win?
The Tigers.
Because of the teeth. All right. Love you guys. We'll be back here with another episode real soon, and we'll talk to you then. Okay, bye.
Love you, bye.